Are you ready for me to open this episode in the smuggest fashion possible?
Oh boy, here we go.
My instincts are saying Unai's going to set a trap for him, dude, and he's going to have a plan. If things go to plan, I think he might give Deserby a lesson this weekend.
Should have seen that coming.
Soccer situation.
Yes. Indeed.
Back.
I am Todd Stradamus.
Like his ego didn't need to get any bigger, folks.
It shrunk for a little while. It needed some reinflation. It's coming. Welcome to episode 32 of Soccer Situations. I'm Todd.
And I'm Alex.
Yeah, we're here to talk about soccer, the ways it drives us insane and enrages us,
Yes.
the way it makes us look cool on the street, the way no one else is really interested in it.
It's true.
Yeah, what's going on, Alex?
Yeah, it's good to be back. I feel like it was a long weekend for me. It's good to be, I feel like settling back into a routine. I had to work on Saturday. I don't like that.
Alex doesn't like
I
working
don't like
weekends.
working on Saturdays. It's not for me anymore.
Anyway, this week on Soccer Situations, we're going to explore all legal options with Liverpool. We're going to celebrate an otherwise lovely weekend of results. We're going to check in with Messi, Lionel Messi, Messi
Ooh,
Corner,
Messi
MLS Corner,
I like that.
right? And we're going to talk a little shit about Castore. It turns out I was right about Castore when I originally talked shit. Not the time I apologized and said they might be good after all.
It's true.
We're going to come around to
It's true.
that.
Go back to the original point. You
Yeah.
were right all along.
Yeah. Before all the soccer nonsense, though, let's check in. Cool stuff happening outside of soccer. One of our favorite comics, Beth Stelling, has a special dropping this week.
Ooh, that crept up on me fast.
Wait, dropping today, actually.
What are we doing?
The
Why
day
are
we're
we watching
dropping this.
Best-Selling
Well,
special?
no, Alex. The day we drop this episode, it will be dropping today. Technically, as of this moment, it's dropping tomorrow.
That's amazing, though.
Yeah.
What timing to promote it?
Right? For real, one of our favorite comics, Beth Stelling. I was lucky enough to see Beth back in Chicago, and then over the years get to see her develop. I saw her down in Austin, in LA.
Yeah, you've seen her a lot of stages in her career.
Dropped her
Lot of
first big
stages.
special on HBO Max when that dropped, and now she's finally getting a Netflix special.
Well deserved.
Yeah, tomorrow as we record this, today as this episode drops, October 3rd. Check it out on Netflix. It's called If You Didn't Want Me Then. That's funny.
That's funny. She's always taking little subtle shots.
Yeah,
I like it.
sometimes not so subtle.
Yeah, yeah, which I also like.
Friend of the pod, Nick Tenaglia, has a little special dropping too.
Oh,
I don't know if that sounded condescending. Sorry, Nick. But yeah, you'll remember Nick from an earlier episode of Soccer Situations.
Yeah,
and
we loved hanging out with Nick.
some of his material from his time at the Independent Comedy Club in Detroit, I think, is
gonna drop?
dropping tomorrow as well. Congrats,
Nice.
Nick, and congrats, Beth.
Works, we know that Nick is a big fan of Beth, so coincidence that they're both dropping
Yeah.
material on the same date.
It's all tied into Soccer Situations.
It all comes back to us.
Oh, yeah, we should mention, while we're hyping Beth up, she has shows this weekend in Chicago as well, actually.
Oh, really?
At the Den Theater. Yeah,
Nice.
in Wicker in the old neighborhood.
Jeez.
Playing two shows
We gotta
at the
go to
Den.
that. Should we go to that?
I was planning on going. I'm going to be working this weekend now.
Work weekends.
I had talked to Josh and Amy
Jeez.
about actually jetting up to Minneapolis to see Beth up there
Oh,
with
interesting.
those two dinguses.
That would be fun.
Yeah, I got the impression that, Amy is a real girl daddy now, a legitimate
Ah.
girl daddy.
Yeah.
And they're out in Eau Claire now. They're not in Minneapolis proper.
yeah.
So
yeah.
it might have been a lot to ask of them for a night on the town with a hooligan and a comic.
Yeah. Good luck, Josh. Let Josh sneak away.
Yeah, I don't know. Josh is a dad these days.
I know he's
We'll
chill.
see.
He's chilled out. He's not
But
wild old Josh.
all right. Well, we're gonna move on to the football then. But yeah, you heard what's going on with these Aston Villa kits, right?
Yeah, the Castore kits.
They're soaking up sweat like my old 1997 Chicago Fire shirt, just like a plastic sack.
Yeah, that image that you sent, like with the article about that, looked so uncomfortable. Like it looked like those sweatsuits you like purposely wear to like lose weight.
Yeah, they look like a wetsuit, absolutely saturated with sweat. It's crazy.
Absolutely disgusting.
So Villa players have complained so much they're looking for an alternative. They're trying to find a temporary kit to wear before they terminate their Castore deal.
That's crazy.
The ladies team is already playing matches in a training kit because they don't want to play in a wet t-shirt contest.
Oh yeah, of course it's way worse for them.
Right?
Wouldn't even think of that. Jeez.
Pretty wild, dude.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Also wild, like how does that even work in mid-season, like a kit change? How do you even get like a new contract with somebody? Are you literally just buying the kits like straight up like anybody else would wholesale?
Yeah, I don't know. There's some precedent. United had a kit at one point, I think, that everybody hated, the players hated.
Yeah.
I don't remember if they just stopped wearing it or what.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I definitely don't think they'll be able to get a new manufacturer this year. They'll have to just...
Castore is going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Well, I think they'll be able to terminate the deal, but they won't. They'll just have to wear unbranded kits or something.
That's so weird.
Yeah, who knows?
Wear T-shirts. They should wear T-shirts.
Yeah. Yeah, that would
Get
be
some
funny.
press-on numbers and
I don't think that's
T-shirts
going to
going.
wick sweat any better than these
It's
kits
true.
do,
It'd be exactly the same.
right? It look like me at the gym. But... yeah, I ripped Newcastle when they switched to Castore, this off-brand thing, and then they made a couple nice kits, and I was starting to think they might be a legit company
The
getting a
kits look
foothold.
pretty good.
This is going to be devastating for their reputation.
Yeah. This is not as like a already small guy in the market. You don't want to be having this kind of reputation.
Yeah.
Nobody's gonna want to use you now.
Right.
It's a hard fight to come back from that.
Yeah, when you're really just getting started, it definitely is.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, manufacturer like Adidas or Puma could roll this right off. Be like, oh, yeah, something happened with the material in the factory.
Yeah.
You have a 20-year track record of making nice stuff before this. It's one thing.
Yeah, you can have a miss here and there.
Yeah. If you're just getting established and players are demanding to switch out of your kits because they can't stand to wear them, that's tough.
Yeah, it's not a good look. Definitely not a good look.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunate. They seem like they got the visual design right, but whatever the hell material they chose to use for those kits was terrible.
Yeah, come on. If Nike can make a sweat-wicking kit with ocean plastic, you should be able to knock something together.
It's
like,
yeah, Nike's just laughing
Tony
at
Stark made this in a cave with scraps. Castore is like, I'm not
Tony
I'm not
Stark.
Adidas.
That's amazing.
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah. Well, this weekend threw up one of the most enraging fixtures football can possibly throw at you.
I kind of figured that's what this whole podcast would be about. Maybe that's why I came with nothing about the front. I figured Todd would just be ranting for this whole hour.
Buckle up. A lot of it is coming. I think this was all a prologue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's easing into it.
No, I was thinking because I'm kind of over it. I'm not. Obviously, as soon as you get me talking about it, I'm going to get heated back up. But I have kind of come down from it, and I've been able to be a functional human today. And
I understand that.
Yeah,
it's hard.
And yesterday, I was able to put on a face for work. But
yeah, you didn't come in storming into the house or anything afterwards. You had every right to.
Right. I did have every single right to, and we'll come to that. Yes, so it got me thinking about the sort of half-life of my sports rage. How long it takes me to come down from the absolute insanity. And I do mean insanity, the irrational rage you feel when your team loses in what you perceive to be unjust circumstances.
Yeah.
I should be clear about that too, because I want to give myself credit that when I think Liverpool lose justly, it's not often, but when we do, it doesn't really make me mad. When we lose in a good game, it doesn't make me mad.
Yeah, it's fine.
When some bullshit happens, I get really mad, as it did this weekend.
When you lose in a way, like it's like one of those where you're just like, just like mad for a minute, but you're like, it just fleeting. It goes away.
Yeah,
you're
that
like,
goes away quickly.
We got beat. Whatever. Move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, stuff like this will just sit with you.
Yeah, it'll simmer. It doesn't as much as it used to. I think a combination of me being older and maybe not drinking during games too helps a lot.
That doesn't help with the rage.
It's debatable. It's true.
I
I don't know. I always have argued that the rage toward the game is a healthy outlet for anger, but is it stoking rage that wouldn't be there otherwise?
It's hard to say. It's also, I mean, I guess it still just depends on. I think it's fine when you're, home alone raging at the TV, but if you can't control that rage in a public space, you got a problem.
Yeah, that's true, I guess.
If you're out in public, like screaming and yelling and like throwing a tantrum,
And I've done that.
I have too. I'm not saying I haven't done
Yeah.
it back in the day, especially when we were drinking back in the early days in
Yeah.
Chicago. But like, yeah, you got to keep it under control a little bit in public.
We were kind of raised in a hooligan era a little bit, not full blown, but
Yeah.
by American standards. In the early days, there were a lot of expats in the bars yelling
Mostly,
at the TVs.
it was more of them than us.
Lots of yelling at the TVs. We
Yeah.
weren't. I mean, we were kind of, taught to do that.
Yeah.
No, we
No.
don't ever want to be influenced by Brits.
But also, I mean, that's kind of also American sports culture in general.
Well, we
yelling
also
at the
grew up
TV.
playing hockey in the 80s and 90s, where parents would routinely fist fight each other, let alone
In the
yell
stands.
yell at the game.
Yeah,
you
fighting
know?
refs and things like
So,
that.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, we didn't have the best influences growing up
no,
for that kind of stuff.
not in terms of anger outlets, at least.
No. Yeah, definitely not. But that's why we have therapy, folks.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe the therapy is actually the answer. It's not getting older. It's not.
Yeah,
not
it's really just
drinking.
the fact that we're
It's the
actually in therapy
3
now.
years of cognitive behavioral therapy. It's
Yeah.
good stuff.
That could be it.
Yeah, onto the actual sports. What I've been alluding to all this time, of
Yeah.
course, is the result of Tottenham 2, Liverpool 1, with the assistance of 2 dubious red cards. And yes, I'm calling them both dubious, even though Liverpool are only appealing 1. 2 dubious reds and some stunningly incompetent officiating.
Yeah. Some of the worst we've seen.
Tottenham have finally beaten Liverpool for the first time in 6 years.
I was going to say, I feel like this is, yeah.
It took
It
6
took a lot.
years, 2 red cards, and a straight-up incompetent referee for Tottenham to get a win
And
over us.
A shocking own goal to get the win even.
And a just gut-wrenching own goal.
Just
on top of it.
lasered off of poor Matip's head into the goal.
Even with all the circumstances I mentioned, Tottenham needed 93 plus.
Yeah.
They barely beat us.
And it was an own goal. They didn't
And it
even
was an
finish
own
it
goal.
themselves.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah. The moment of controversy being Liverpool already down to 10, not yet down to 9.
Yeah.
Counterattacked, Salah sending Luis Diaz through on goal to slot home to take a 2-1 lead at the time.
Yep.
And
Massive moment.
flagged offside on the field, goes to video review, and review comes back about 10 seconds later and says check complete, no goal. They wave it off despite the freeze frame on the screen showing Diaz
Showing exactly.
probably 2 or 3 feet onside.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
clear as day. So, again, it was flagged offside on the field. Video review thought the linesman had flagged it onside and a good goal.
Yeah.
So the video review just came back with a confirmation check complete. And the linesman on the field and the referee said, cool, no goal.
Yep.
It's
Just complete
so
lack of
bafflingly-
communication.
And when they discovered the mistake just 20 seconds later, they couldn't roll back plans and award us the goal.
Yeah.
That somehow would have been more unjust and controversial than what they did, which is just go on with the game and rob Liverpool of the points.
Right? I mean, yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all.
No, it's so stunning that for once, in all the subreddits, including just the broad soccer subreddit,
Yeah.
you actually have rival fans in favor of Liverpool on this argument.
Yeah, because this does affect everyone.
It does affect everybody.
Everyone is furious about this because they know it can happen to them at any moment.
Look, as Arlo White said on NBC, the integrity of the title race has been punctured, he said on
It's
NBC.
true. It's
And
very
that's
true.
true. Twice already,
Huge points.
Liverpool and Manchester City have fought title races down to a single point at the end of the year.
Yeah.
If that happens again, Liverpool fans are going to goddamn riot over this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, something has to be done. Because it's like this is so early in the season to be doing stuff like this that can ruin like an entire season already when we're not even really into it yet.
This is not the refs' first apology of the season. It's their third that I know of
Yeah.
this year.
Yeah. I mean, we already talked about, we were talking about this off mic about Brighton last year.
Right.
Getting absolutely
Right.
destroyed by the referees.
As angry as I am, Brighton got twice as fucked last year.
Yeah, bad.
Over and over again.
Bad.
And that brings up a good point. For those people that are criticizing Liverpool for quote unquote making a big deal out of it and complaining, look, one of the loud voices in football, and Liverpool is fortunate to be one of those loud voices.
Yeah.
Someone has to take a stand and be like, yo, this fucking incompetence cannot stand.
Yeah,
we have to do something about it. You issue an apology and nothing changes.
Yeah.
Everyone puts their head down and Brits just kind of tut away and politely hope it just gets swept under the rug.
Yeah, when it's happening to Brighton, not a team fighting for Champions Leagues or titles.
Or Wolves.
Or Wolves.
Wolves were robbed
Wolves got
against
robbed
Manchester
too.
United earlier this year.
Yeah, it's like, obviously you don't want it to happen to any of these teams, but
Right.
hopefully Liverpool can be the breaking point in
Right.
this whole thing.
Yeah. And it probably is down to incompetence.
Seems
but
to be.
We have to tackle a little more of a sinister angle, which is the possibility of corruption.
Absolutely.
So
Enough money in the game, there's always a possibility of corruption.
Well, so referee Darren England, who fucked this situation up, he was on video review that day. 2 days earlier had been reffing in the United Arab Emirates, collecting a fat paycheck in the Middle East to ref for these luxury leagues.
Yep.
Guess who owns Manchester City? The United Arab Emirates.
Yeah.
So whether or not there was any corruption, the question is being asked. The question has to be asked. How can a referee collect a paycheck from the owners of Manchester City and then go ref a Liverpool game the next day? Literally.
Yeah, ref against their title contenders.
So that issue has been brought up.
It has to be investigated at least.
Well, yeah, it's being brought up not as an example of possible corruption, but they're blaming fatigue from his 8-hour flight back. It's like, oh, he was tired from the flight. Yeah, that's the issue here.
That's absurd.
Never mind the fact that refs are also spending their weekends reffing in Saudi Arabia, who owns Newcastle. So if we're going to allow states to own clubs in the league, we can't also allow them to be paying our referees in or out of our league.
I think that's 100% fair and should be shut down immediately.
Right?
Yeah, because I mean, this is throwing in. There's always a question of integrity in every major sport. Yeah. But this is just it seems so in the open and blatant that something that has to be looked at.
It's really, 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 really shocking.
Yeah.
One of the most shocking reffing performances I've seen in 2+ decades of watching this game.
Yeah. It's embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing.
Right?
And so crucial to both teams.
The sad thing is, prior to that absolute fucking travesty, the Premier League had actually given me a dream weekend of results to celebrate.
I mean, the results were just glorious.
I was in such a good mood.
Yeah.
Prior to that, we had losses for Everton, Manchester City, Manchester United. If Tottenham had lost, we would have had to christen a new holiday.
I mean, that would have been the perfect weekend.
We would have had to invent a new holiday and celebrate. It wasn't meant to be.
Yeah.
But let's go celebrate some of those other results. Let's start with, let's start with United 0, Crystal Palace 1.
Crystal Palace 1.
So I think the question from this match is, and the larger question is Ten Hag hitting a plateau?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are United fans still excited about where he's taking this team?
Yeah. I mean, outside of clear locker room troubles, it doesn't seem to be that they're performing very well. So, yeah, how much longer are United fans going to back them?
Yeah, I mean, there have been sprinkles of boos here and there already this year. So, I don't know. I think ownership will back him a long time because they don't want to spend money to get rid of him and get somebody else in.
It's
Money's
true.
starting to get tight around the Theater of Dreams. So whether or not the fans back him is kind of a moot point. But, I don't know how much higher he can take this squad, especially if they keep getting sort of ruled out via criminal activity or dissent controversy. I don't know what you want to label the Jadon Sancho controversy.
Yeah, just his beef with Ten Hag.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of nice for me as an Arsenal fan seeing this because we went through this same thing not long ago with Alba and Ozil and all these players with these egos, like having spats with the manager, and it's annoying. It's frustrating as a fan
Yeah.
because you don't know what's actually happening.
Right.
You're just hearing rumors and whispers, and so it's nice to watch United go through some of that because we were laughed at for the last 5 years for that. So
Yeah. To be fair to Ten Hag, they do have, I think, 5 defenders on the injury list right now.
their injury list is pretty bad.
I know Wan-Bissaka, Shaw, and Lisandro Martinez are all injured. Martinez long term. He just underwent a second surgery on his metatarsal, so that's tough for him.
Yeah,
Good news for United. Anthony's back in training.
good news.
Is that good
I mean,
news?
has he been? He hasn't been very effective yet, but
I mean, no, he's been terrible.
So-
And is he? Are they going to play him with those charges still standing
still
over him?
floating over his head. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. See how desperate they get.
Well, here's another question: should Ten Hag be held responsible for the losses of Greenwood, Antony? I guess Sancho can't be blamed on him, but he wanted to integrate Greenwood. He was part of the reintegration plan, so you could blame him in the sense that they lost the opportunity to plan for his departure and replacement, right?
Yeah.
Antony is fully his fault. As
Yeah.
I've said earlier on, I think, a different episode, but they signed Antony with these criminal charges. They spent $85 million on Antony with sexual assault charges pressed against him.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
So that one, it's clearly on him.
And that was Ten
and his
Hag's
regime.
target individually. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty tough. I don't know what's going on with United, but more to the point, they've lost 4 of their first 7. Their worst start, I think, in the history of the Premier League.
I was gonna say this has to be their worst start of the. Yeah, they have never been this bad.
I saw a funny comment online that was like, how the fuck are we still breaking these records after the Ole years? Do you remember when every single week there was a funny record like that?
Yes.
Man, you lost this way for the first time in history, or the worst way they've ever lost.
Yeah.
Still happening.
And they're still feeling it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But that's enough of laughing at them. They've been getting a lot of shit from us.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Everton 1, Luton Town 2.
Luton
picking up their first Premier League win ever. First
Yeah.
Premier League win in the history of the club. Against who?
Fantastic.
Against who? Who's
Lowly Everton.
What a great pub quiz question that'll be in the future.
Oh yeah, that's a joy. That's
You
a
know?
joy. That'll stand for history forever.
The Toffees.
Wow.
Yep. Didn't watch this game.
No, me either. But I saw the result and I was very happy about it.
Yeah.
Frankly, it's funny, when I was looking at the results, I missed this one somehow. And then just earlier today, I was looking back at the results again and I was like, oh, that was a nice little treat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice little
That's
bonus.
a nice little treat.
Everton off the back of their first win of the season. They had
Yeah, I thought
hope
maybe
to
they were
gain
turning
some
it
momentum.
around.
Yeah. Getting their first win of the season, going into hosting Luton Town, you'd think that you could build a little something.
Yeah, now's the time to start a run.
Sorry, Everton. Didn't work out that way.
Silver lining, Calvert-Lewin on the board.
Yeah.
Getting back into form,
I think
maybe.
he scored a couple games straight now.
Yeah, maybe a silver lining for Everton fans.
Well, if he can stay fit, we'll see.
Yeah.
He'll score 4 games straight and then
get
pull
hurt
his
for a while.
hamstring.
That's a Theo Walcott curse.
Right? Let's talk Wolves 2,
Oof,
Manchester
beautiful.
City 1. The most surprising result of the weekend?
I think so. Has to be,
obviously.
right?
There were more controversial results. There were funnier results. But this definitely was the most shocking result. of
Yeah,
the
I don't think
weekend.
anyone. I mean, any weekend, I don't really go into thinking City are going to drop any points at all. I didn't get to watch. I watched the extended highlights, but I wish I would have watched this game live, especially with the little side story with Pep Guardiola's pre-match press conference,
Being cocky.
being a little cocky, calling him that Korean guy.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. That Korean guy scored one on you. Scored a game winner?
Game winner against you.
Tough.
Like we said, he pulled the shirt up a little bit and gave it, showed the name. But I wish he would have done it. We said we wanted to see full Suarez run in front of the bench.
Go
and
directly
show
in front
Pep
of
your
the
name
manager.
and let him know.
Yeah, referring to Suarez's dive in front of David Moyes.
One of the most
after-
iconic moments in Premier League history.
Really great stuff.
It's so good, so good.
Yeah, but City picks up their first loss of the season. It's always nice to see them bleed for the first time.
Yeah,
You know?
to know that they're human.
Right? It's like whoever landed that first punch on who is the purple guy in the Marvel movies?
Thanos.
Yeah, someone lands a punch on Thanos where he feels pain for a second. He's like, oh.
And they're like, oh, we can get to him.
Yeah.
It's possible.
No, you want to see that a team's not invincible,
Yeah.
and we've seen it.
It's important.
Yeah. And to rewind and talk about Liverpool more now because that's more important. Let's make it about that. I think despite Liverpool picking up their first loss of the season, we're actually going to pick up momentum from that game. You know?
Yeah, it's going to fire the boys right up.
I think it's really going to God, my vocabulary is terrible this week. It's going to galvanize us.
Yeah,
That's
there
the
you
word
go.
I was
There you
going to
go.
look for. I really think it's going to galvanize us. I was looking to see who's next, and sadly, we're away to Brighton next week.
I saw that.
Everton the week after that. I was
Ooh.
like, God damn it. I wish we had Everton next week after that Tottenham result.
That
We'd
would've been
just
fun.
go and just absolutely twat Everton.
Take out all that rage on Everton.
Oh, it would have been great. Hopefully we can do it to Brighton, but it's unlikely.
Yeah, Brighton's also going to be coming off some rage as well. So
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. We'll go ahead to the fixtures later on.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
upcoming fixtures.
we can get to that.
Yeah, let's talk about. Well, I guess let's linger a little bit on City losing their first game.
Yeah.
Do you feel encouraged about Arsenal's title chances this year? Do you think this was a fluke result? Do you think Wolves uncovered any kind of real chink in the armor that just needed to be discovered?
Well, I think they're definitely going through a bit of a injury mess right now at City. Just not even a lot of players, but just key players out for them. So we'll see. I guess maybe this is the first sign of them actually faltering with that, and we'll see. I mean, they have Arsenal this weekend, so we'll see how much that is really affecting them, if that's real, or like you said, if this is a fluke result.
Yeah, we definitely have the right test on the horizon to figure that out.
Yeah, they're gonna want to bounce back.
Yeah.
We'll see, can they bounce back
Yeah.
with the players they have out.
Right. Let's talk about one. Actually, it was the game that kicked off the weekend. We skipped over. Let's talk about the game that I opened the episode with. This is Aston Villa 6, Brighton 1.
Yeah, we couldn't leave this one out.
No, definitely not. I got to be smug. But for real, we know Unai,
Yeah.
and
We've talked about Unai doing these types of things
yeah,
multiple times.
this
on the
wasn't really
podcast.
that wild of a prediction. We know how
Yeah.
good Brighton is. I think that everyone is expecting Brighton to win most weekends these days,
Yeah,
outside of the top 6
at least
teams.
compete,
Yeah,
and be
yeah.
in a tight fixture. You don't really see this kind of result for them very often.
But we've seen Unai stun these high-flying. It's always the really glamorous
It's the cocky
manager.
guys.
It's
Unai doesn't like that.
It's the cocky guys, dude.
Unai's like Shane Gillis of the Premier League.
He's most famous for doing it in the Europa League, but he's got that up his sleeve. He is the Shane Gillis of the
He
Premier
only
League.
wants
That's funny.
hard-nosed football.
It's true.
Run it down the gut. He doesn't want any of that fancy flair stuff.
Right? He's capable of it
He is.
in his own teams, but
for sure.
he knows how to shut it down when it's time, and he
But
did.
He knows how to be the anti-flair for sure.
They scored 3 goals in the opening 20-odd minutes. 3 goals really
Blitzed 'em.
quick. It blitzed them good. And
Brighton didn't have an answer.
no, I think they scored 1 after the first 3, and there was a glimpse of they scored
Early in the
they
second
scored
half.
like 2 minutes into the second
Yeah,
half.
because I turned it on around
Mhm,
that time,
mhm.
and they had Fati scored.
Yep,
and I
they
was
came
like,
out
oh,
and
here
made
we
it
go. Maybe
3-1.
Brighton's gonna be back.
and then they weren't.
No.
Yeah, Ollie Watkins with a hat trick.
Yeah, Ali. I've heard whispers of Arsenal sniffing around him for a little while.
At least one guy in our fantasy league has Ollie Watkins in his team. That's not you, is it?
I don't think so. I did make a change, but I don't think I picked up Watkins.
Mm.
That's a smart pickup, whoever it is, though. Congrats on that.
Yeah,
That's a good move.
that trick hero.
Yeah, good. Yeah, good for Unai. I
Right.
always like him doing well, seeing him happy.
Yeah, we're big Unai fans around here. Deserby fans too.
Yeah.
No
yeah.
disrespect.
No, none at all. We love Brighton, obviously. We talk about him probably too much.
Should we talk about Fulham 0, Chelsea 2? This game we just watched today.
Just watched, yeah.
Chelsea's first win of the season?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of those going around this weekend.
Teams getting some confidence boosts.
First goals for Broha and Mudryk.
Yeah. Yeah, that's huge for them. Both players desperate. I mean, I think Mudryk probably more so even, but desperate for goals
Yeah.
to kind of get their
I don't know if I would say Mudryk is more desperate because he's at least getting a lot of minutes in the first
That
team.
is true.
I
He's
felt
getting
bad
chances.
for Broha because he was in for Nicholas Jackson being suspended.
Yeah.
Scored a pretty nice goal. Made a pretty decent appearance, but then was injured and went off.
Yeah, went off injured.
So-
Hopefully not too long term for him.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's minor.
Yeah, we'll see if he gets back into the team soon.
But
But
yeah, Chelsea though, injuries woes piling up even more.
yeah, it's pretty wild stuff. Who did they lose today?
Other than Broha, who was Sterling came on for somebody.
Oh.
Why is my memory so
Wait,
bad?
was it Broha he came on for? It probably was.
It probably was Broha. Actually, you're right. Yeah.
We'll just clip that whole part out.
yeah, got that.
Obvious question.
um,
But yeah, Chelsea looking a little better.
yeah.
I don't
see
know
some
how
life.
convincing it is.
Fulham
Fulham,
are known to be flat at times.
yeah, and they looked
And they
terrible
looked
today.
flat today.
They straight up didn't show up today.
Yeah. Yeah. And even in their fight back, it was weird. I was watching it, and they had chances, but I was like casually watching because I never felt like it was actually going to go in
Sure.
for them, and they were actually going to have a fight back.
Yeah.
It's like they were dominating the ball. They were creating a couple of chances, but it just never felt like they really wanted it.
That's a shame. Nice day at the cottage.
It is a shame. Chelsea had a nice day out.
Yeah, just a mile from Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, fans walking down to the stadium.
Anyway, don't make that so hospitable for them, Fulham.
Yeah, come on, Fulham.
You're making it like the Lambeau of the Premier League. You don't want to be that hospitable to opposing fans,
Yeah, don't let all those fans take over your stadium.
right? Arsenal finally put up some big numbers this weekend. You want to talk about that game?
Arsenal's offense clicking finally. Yeah, this is the thing where I was complaining mostly where I was mad about working on Saturdays, just not getting to fully watch the Arsenal match. But yeah, offense is clicking. I mean, I think the big moment we don't have to talk too much about this match, but I did want to talk about the Kai Havertz moment. Just because I wanted to get your opinion on it, because it is interesting to me, and I have many feelings about it.
Sure.
So Kai Havertz gets his first goal for Arsenal. You know, he was handed the penalty by Odegaard to get his first goal and get him off the ground. And then the team, like the celebrations, you know, they're all chasing him around and slapping him on the back of the head and celebrating with him. And you know, at the end of the match, they push him in front of the away fans and make him have his celebrations while they sing the song to him. And I'm like, if that were you, would you want that?
Yeah, it's a little embarrassing,
Would you
right?
want that to be the way you break your goal duck? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think I would. I think I would be embarrassed by it.
Yeah, it seemed a little over the top for me. I mean, I'm not a normal person, so I can't use my own judgment.
Same.
I hate having the attention on me.
Me too. So it horrified
It
me.
feels
The whole thing
a little
horrified me.
condescending. Being given a penalty for your first goal when you're desperate for a goal,
That's one thing.
it's one thing, but also even that is like pressure I wouldn't want.
Oh, for sure. And
Because
to
if
be
you
fair
mess
to him,
that up,
good for him that
good
he put it
Lord.
away
Yeah, that's true.
confidently, because
That's
he
true.
could have missed it. And then it's like, those are the things where you're like, it's so early, but like, do you see him coming back from that mentally? You know?
Yeah.
That's a huge hole to put himself in.
Yeah, and after the match, the whole thing was like Arteta commented on it. He said it was a very moving moment for the boys.
Yeah,
And I'm like,
Arteta's
ugh.
one for the cheese
Yeah,
a
oh, yeah.
bit.
Oh, yeah.
And
That's an
I love
understatement.
it, and sometimes it makes me cringe a little bit. And this one, I kind of, as much as I love Havertz and I want him to be amazing,
Mhm.
this one made me cringe a little bit.
Yeah,
Just a little bit.
yeah.
I
I don't know. It's tough to read into what's going on within the social dynamic of the team and what they need, you know, and,
Yeah.
and how they feel about it all.
And that's the thing, is the boys seem to be having fun with it, and that's kind of all that matters.
Yeah, if they're kind of having a laugh with it, you know,
Yeah.
and they can exactly just use it as a funny thing to joke about and feel good about and move on, then
Yeah.
then it will be worth it.
Yeah, you don't want to, like, yeah, I don't know. It seems like a very shaky thing to be playing around with, but yeah, let's hope it works. Let's hope it's positive energy for him.
Yeah, big time.
Because it seemed like other than that, I mean, it's a cruising result.
Yeah, and you
team
don't
looked
want to
good.
hate on a positive moment.
No, I don't
Like,
want to
well,
be that guy.
I'd love to hate on a positive moment.
I mean, I think a lot of fans hate on Arsenal's
Do you want me to
positive
do
moments.
20 minutes on Taylor Swift's NFL appearances?
Oh, we can.
Which everyone is so ecstatic about because I can hate on that positive moment. I can do a whole separate podcast about that fucking
Yeah,
moment.
why didn't we talk about that at the beginning?
Jesus Christ.
That's what we were missing. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce talk. Dude.
Taylor Swift's oh my god, dude.
Could have brought that up at the beginning. Oh, I do have something I wanted to bring up though. It's football related, but not Premier League related. This can move us on from the Premier League for a moment.
Sure. Take us around.
So, I was playing EAFC, and I was just, you get your managerial career going. I just like sign it. Like usually I don't want to sign players because right now I like Arsenal's squad, so I'm like I don't really sign players.
I always turn off the opening window.
Yeah,
Because
I'm like I like my squad. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But I signed Take Kubo from
Nice.
Sociedad.
Uh-huh.
And I just randomly signed him the other day, and I was like, oh, that's a good like Japanese player. He's a winger. He's fast. He's fun. He could be like my Saka backup.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like a few days later, he's in the news because he did my favorite celebration, which is the fake hamstring injury into the twerk. He scored a goal and he did the fake hamstring injury into a twerk dance, and I was like, yes.
It's really funny. I actually saw a photo of him twerking. I didn't have the context of it.
The photo's hilarious
just
because
saw-
it's literally just him bending over with
and
his ass
he is
sticking
popping
out.
it, dude. And I was like, damn, dude.
Uh,
Saki's got back.
He does, yeah. But it was so funny. I was like, all right, I just randomly signed this guy in EAFC, and he comes out and hits my favorite dance move, celebration after scoring. I love it.
Well, he was proud to be on your team, Alex.
Yeah, he felt it. He felt the energy.
Right? This seems like a good time to go to an ad break. Let's go to an
Do it.
ad break.
All right.
This episode of Soccer Situations is brought to you by Littlefoot Coffee. I mean, what can I say about Littlefoot Coffee? They're not just friends of the pod, they're family of the pod, quite literally. Alex started Littlefoot years ago after more than a decade of roasting experience, roasting coffee for some of the hottest, most fashionable, and most importantly, tasty specialty coffee roasters in America. My favorite thing about it is that it's just really high-grade coffee without a drop of pretense. You're not going to find a bunch of weird, savory notes that the roaster is passing off as intentional. It's just really sweet, comforting flavors that everybody wants in their coffee. And now, for a limited time only, you can get 15% off at littlefootcoffee.com. Promo code SITUATIONS. Once again, you can get 15% off at littlefootcoffee.com using the promo code SITUATIONS. Yes, sir.
And we're back.
Should we talk about upcoming fixtures?
Let's talk about them.
I don't know what's coming up. What's on the horizon?
Do we want to talk Champions League fixtures first?
Oh, duh.
I noted, we don't have to do a huge Champions League talk, but I noted 4 fixtures big this week.
Yeah, lay them out for us.
So, first up, we have Dortmund versus Milan.
That's a fun one.
That's a fun one.
Pretty-
Just seeing those 2 crests on the thing, I was like, ooh, that's going to be good.
It's kind of a hipster Champions League
It is.
lineup.
It is a very hipster Champions League lineup. And then we're followed up by a huge match, Napoli versus Madrid.
Interesting. Napoli have this controversy going on with their star striker of last season, Victor
I
Osimhen,
saw
where
that, yeah.
they essentially posted an insulting TikTok of him,
Yeah.
and he's rightfully furious about it.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too furious, but no, it was disrespectful.
It was very disrespectful.
I don't know if he's going to play. I don't know how
How offended he actually is.
if he's on strike or not. I haven't been following it that closely.
I did see that headline, though.
But it's not a great sort of vibe for Napoli, who should be riding on the highest high they've ever had.
Yeah, this is the best time for them ever.
Yeah, they should be in celebratory mode, flying into the Bernabeu.
Yeah,
just,
this
you
is
know.
fun time.
Yeah.
No one expects you to win there. Go out and have fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You would hope their star striker is playing,
Yeah, hopefully so.
but
We'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
I'll watch that game 100%.
and then this one's more of a hate watch. Newcastle PSG.
Woo! Is that the king of all hate watches?
yeah,
Oh my god, dude.
yeah, right. I
felt
saw
like
that
just,
and I was like,
I feel like I just
"Ugh."
sniffed a smelling salt. I was like,
Yeah.
ugh.
Ugh. And then I just put Arsenal down as well. Arsenal playing Lens, just for fun because I'm excited about that.
Sure,
That's a personal
of
one
course.
for me.
Of course. But yeah, Newcastle PSG, dude, that is rough. PSG is sitting in 4th in League. Ugh.
Yeah,
Have you
not
seen that?
great for them. Not
Pretty-
looking good.
Mbappe is injured as well, I believe.
Mbappe, who doesn't want to be there, is now out injured.
Is Newcastle going to put him to the sword?
How much would that hurt? Newcastle, the new boys, Newcastle put in PSG. Is that enough to cause some serious turmoil at PSG?
Yeah.
if Newcastle like embarrassed them somehow.
How long before these sports washing projects trigger actual violence between the states?
Just turns into full-blown wars over
That'd be pretty cool.
the armies are wearing the kits of the football teams. It's like sewn into their uniforms.
Honestly, American politics are not too far off of that right now,
Doesn't
dude.
feel like
It's
it. No,
Liverpool versus Chelsea, red versus blue, dude.
it is. It
it's
is.
so
Everyone's got their damn
polarized,
jersey on,
and
now.
everyone is so irrational and cult-like about it that it really is like sports.
It is like
fandom
sport.
more
It
than
somehow
anything.
turned into sporting, like a sporting event. American politics.
No,
and
it did.
It's disgusting.
Cheer for your team no matter what. You don't even care who's
Yeah.
playing for them. You don't care
I mean, we
what,
don't need to
what
get
their strategy is.
too political, but like before Trump, when did we ever see anyone wearing presidential merch?
No, dude.
That's disgusting, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
What is wrong with you people? We're not supposed to love our presidents that much.
No, we shouldn't love our president.
They should be
at all.
serving us.
Come on, don't be that heavy-handed about it. But yeah, that is what they say. Civil servant, yada yada.
Yeah. So those are the highlights from the
The Champs
match
League,
week in the Champions League.
pretty good.
Pretty good stuff.
Who's Man United playing in the Champions League?
Galatasaray.
Why'd you skip that? That's a highlight.
Yeah, it's true. I forgot United were even in it.
Are they away in Turkey?
Let's take a peek here. No, they're at Old Trafford.
Oh damn! I was gonna say a trip to Turkey would be pretty tough on them right now.
Honestly, yeah. But honestly, you got to think a game at home might be just as tough.
Yeah, that's true.
If they don't start well, if Galatasaray were to get an early goal, could get real toxic there.
Yeah.
That happens. Sometimes going away from home is actually a good thing when you're playing like that and you're having that bad of a time.
Yeah, especially at United. I mean, Old Trafford has proven they're not afraid to walk out or boo them,
No, they'll turn on their team quick.
right?
Real quick.
Yeah, that takes us to the Premier League this weekend.
Yeah, let's take a look ahead.
Some pretty interesting games on Saturday. The one that stands out to me is United again hosting Brentford. Now, Brentford have been struggling a little bit,
It's true.
so this is a chance for United to really kind of get back on track, I think.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, Thomas Frank seems like he's been having a hard time lately. I think he's been whining a little bit in the press about things not going their way.
But their attacks definitely felt a little blunted, so hopefully United's depleted defense won't be as much of a deciding factor in that game.
Right.
But not an easy fixture for them by any means.
No, not at all. Yeah, obviously, like it seems like Brentford are mostly really struggling to replace Tony's goals.
There you go.
Like that seems to be their biggest thing for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, both teams really need a result.
But this weekend it's all about Sunday, really. 4 big games on Sunday, starting with
Sunday's huge.
Brighton hosting Liverpool. Both of them going to have a chip on their shoulder over some tough results this weekend, as we said.
Yeah, noted as big as some of the other games we're going to mention here, as I was noted, is that the match of the weekend, really?
I think it is.
I think that's going to be the one to watch.
Oof, well, yeah, we'll come
Yeah,
to
you keep going, but I
other
think it's-
contender.
It's a big one.
So, arguably the worst game of the day, West Ham Newcastle, very decent game as well.
Very decent game. West Ham have had a good start.
Yep.
Yeah. Newcastle obviously want to continue climbing the table. They've had a couple, they've had a rocky, not the best start for them.
No.
What they would hope for anyway for a team.
They're starting to click a little bit though, starting to get a little momentum, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see
Yeah.
what happens there. West Ham technically sitting above them in the table by a point right now.
Oh, that's fun. Let's go to Wolves, coming off a victory over Manchester City, hosting Aston Villa, who just pumped 6 past Brighton.
Yep, we had the two angry teams for 2 different reasons.
Yeah.
Now we have these 2 high-flying teams.
Yeah, that's funny how those fixtures kind of swapped, huh?
Right? How's this one going to go?
This is probably the most unpredictable one of the weekend for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I honestly don't know. I'm trying to I'm racking my brain right now. I'm like thinking of a quip or something to say about this. I'm like, I really don't know what's going to happen here.
No, I have no idea.
It's always teams when coming off a flyer like that, scoring 6
Yeah.
could
Should they have saved
fall
a
on
few
their
goals?
face. Yeah,
The
could
old
fall on their
cliche.
face the next weekend.
Right.
But yeah, it'll be a fun one to watch. I mean, it is a great day for football on Sunday.
Definitely. Coming to the other contender for headline
that's
game.
Yeah, exactly.
I guess you would say it's the headline game. It's closing out the day.
It is,
Arsenal
yeah.
hosting Manchester City.
Big one.
Battle of the Titans, number 1 and 2 from last season.
Yeah, big test for both sides. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about it.
Is Arteta gonna tinker? Is he gonna play it
That's the
straight?
thing. I wonder if he's going to tinker. The good thing is that I think City is struggling with players, but I think we are getting a lot of crucial players back fit.
Sure.
So it seems to be things lining up timing wise in Arsenal's favor, but I don't know. Yeah, with Arteta's, City still holds some kind of power over him right now. And it's like I feel like this is a big chance for him to break that.
Has he beaten City yet?
I don't think he has in the league.
Okay.
This is a big one. Yeah, this is an important one. If he's able to do it this could set us on a run, like to put, hopefully put ourselves in a good position at least up until the Christmas halfway point.
Yeah. If they beat you, it leaves you 4 points off.
4 points off.
Is that the end of? No, you
It's
can't
not the
say
end.
that's
It's
the
not
end.
the end yet.
No way.
But it hurts. It hurts after the Tottenham result.
Yeah.
To have two big the two biggest tests of your season so far,
Yeah.
not get results out of either of them would be a bit of a hit to the ego, I think.
For sure.
But yeah, two massive games.
What a
I'm excited for
weekend,
both
dude.
of those games.
It's such a crazy weekend.
Like I said, you can't really pick one between which one's really going to be the biggest game of the weekend.
No, I mean, I think the broadcasters will pick one, and I think they'll pick Arsenal City.
Yeah. But as
And
far
probably
as a
rightfully
football
so.
match goes,
Yeah. I think for the football nerds,
Liverpool
it's a
might be more
toss-up.
fun.
Yeah, Liverpool-Brighton?
Yeah.
Yeah. But given the circumstances that they both just came out of, that game is going to be wild, dude.
Because Arsenal City is going to be a cagey affair.
Definitely.
So it might not be a great watch.
No, it's a really safe bet that Brighton-Liverpool will be the more fun of the two games.
Yes. Yeah.
Whether it's a bigger game, that doesn't mean anything this early in the season.
True.
That's
That's true.
They're both big games.
Yeah, they're all big games, really.
Yeah.
If you think about it, but
Right.
that's why we love the Premier League.
Who would have
Every
guessed
game
Wolves
matters.
City would be a massive game? It wasn't until Wolves beat them. Now
Yeah.
that was a huge game.
Huge, and we all loved it.
Yeah. Well, should we
I think that's
call it an episode?
about it, right?
Yeah, that
Wraps it up.
I think that just about covers the Prem. We didn't cover Messi Corner and
Oh, yeah.
MLS. I've got a pretty quick, tight, bleak update.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Messi had a scan on his hamstring that revealed a 2-centimeter tear, and he's done for the MLS season.
Oh
So
no!
there's Messi Corner. Yeah.
Tragic.
His high-flying, magical debut season is cut short, sadly, by injury.
Iron Man Messi too. He's never hurt. I feel like.
No, he pushed himself really hard. I don't have
Yeah.
the stats in front of me again this week, but I read the stats of how many games he played in the past year,
Insane.
and it's an insane amount.
Yeah, and you can't be doing that when you're at his age now. At this point, he's played a ton of football in his career. It's insane.
Yeah. So get better, Messi. It's fine. You gave us enough this year. It's funny
put on a
that
show.
since he's been out, Miami have lost, I think, every game since he left. They lost every
Yeah.
game before he came. They won every game once he was there.
And then they're
And now
losing
he's
every
injured,
game
and they're
again.
losing every game again. But that one guy I know that doesn't think Messi's a very good footballer.
Yeah. Not literally changing a professional league's fortune completely on his own.
Yeah. All right, yo, I think that's all the salt I got for you this week.
Yeah, that's good. We could have had more. We think we held some salt back.
There
could have been some more salt this week.
Did I forget salt?
No.
What salt
No,
did
I
I
just
forget?
mean you could have gone more salt on your saltiness of the Liverpool
Oh, the
stuff.
Liverpool Tottenham thing.
I said
Yeah.
you restrained yourself well.
I restrained myself very intentionally.
Yeah.
That day, James texted me and he was like, "You have to do a reaction video. Record a reaction and upload it to TikTok." I was like, "James, you don't want me to do that.
No,
It won't be funny. It'll just make me look like a psycho."
Yeah,
I
I mean,
don't-
I guess if we're looking for those kind of clicks,
If I
want to
be
that
like
guy,
Mark
we're laugh at a
Goldbridge
Liverpool
that's just
fan.
losing his mind.
Yeah,
But-
we could do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But I don't want the clicks for that.
No, it wouldn't have been that cool.
No,
would
it
have
would've
been.
been- it
extremely
would've been
angry.
embarrassing.
It would have been really angry.
It would have been very,
I mean,
to the
I-
point where people would have been like, probably like, ooh.
I'm prone to a Liverpool conspiracy theory.
Oh yeah.
Look, we've got evidence. Don't get me going on Thatcher.
Yeah,
and
we could do another
Liverpool.
whole podcast about that
Yeah.
too.
So when something like this happens, I can really start going Alex Jones on the whole
He starts
situation,
ranting.
dude.
Turn the frogs gay.
Yeah. Anyway, there's reasons.
Yes.
All right,
All right, y'all.
that's it. Thank you. I'm Todd. This is Soccer Situations.
I'm Alex. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, everybody, have a good week, and don't let the salt flow.
No.
Let your sports
Let the
rage
love-
half-life shorten. What'd you say about love? Alex has been watching.
Let the love of the football go. Let it flow.